हरि ओम। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadev. Hari Om. So Bhagwan teaches Atma-jnana to Arjuna. First, Bhagwan reveals the highest nature of that Supreme Self. Thereafter, Bhagwan says that even if you have a different understanding of that Self, even if you think you are the body or if you think you are the subtle body, even if you have that understanding, you don't have to grieve, because you should understand that as a natural phenomenon. Again, Bhagwan says that this self is very mysterious and most wonderful, not very easy to grasp. One looks at, understand this self as a great wonder. Ascharyavat pashyati kashidainam. So the Atma, the self, is avadhyoyam. It is undestructible and it is present in all equally. Therefore, you should not grieve and you should fulfill whatever responsibilities you have as a Kshatriya. Now in the 31st verse, from the 31st verse, Bhagwan gives the worldly wisdom to overcome this grief and confusion in Arjuna's mind. He says that just looking at the whole situation from the standpoint of your duty, you know that you are a Kshatriya and you know what are the duties of a Kshatriya. Kshatriya has got the duty to protect this world, to protect dharma, to protect all beings. That is your responsibilities. So, looking at your own dharma, swadharma, apicha aveksha, na vikampitum arhasi. You should not waver from your duty. Because for a Kshatriya, there is no greater opportunity than to fight for dharma. Dharmyadhi yuddha shreyah anyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Further, Bhagwan tells Arjuna the importance of fulfilling one's duties. He says in the verse number 32, Yadrichaya chopapannam swargadvaram apavrutam sukhina kshatriyah partha labhante yuddhamidrisham. Bhagwan says, this yuddha has just come in front of you, yadrichaya, without you asking for it. The situation has brought the whole thing in front of you. This battle which is about to be fought is just brought by circumstances. Yadrichaya, you didn't ask for it, you didn't strive for it, but it has come. But this is a wonderful opportunity for you to express your dharma as a Kshatriya. Because if you follow your dharma, you will acquire a lot of punya and you will go to Swarga. After that, you will go to Swarga because of following your dharma sincerely. So Bhagavan says, Yadrichya cha upapannam swargadvaram apavrutam. So this battle is like a swargadvara apavrutam. It is like a heaven. The doors of heaven are open for you here. So you fight this war because what is for a Kshatriya to have this opportunity is the most happy and most pleasurable thing. Sukhina Kshatriya Partha Lavante Yuddham Idrisham. That Kshatriya, isn't that Kshatriya really happy who gets this opportunity to fight this righteous war? So, hey Arjuna, you fight. Don't get disturbed, don't waver from your duty, you fight. See, all of us are born with a specific what you call samskar in our mind, in our antakarana. We are born with those samskar. And those samskars make us restless. Those samskar want its expression constantly. If those samskars are not given expression, then we become very disturbed. Then it is our mind becomes very restless. So we need expression for our samskar. Otherwise, there will be total suppression. See, even now in this lockdown period, all of us are sitting home. But even at home, we can express whatever samskar we have in a most proper way, appropriate way, so that we can spend this time fruitfully. Otherwise, we will feel frustrated, we will feel disturbed, we will feel angry, we will feel totally bored and dejected, depressed. All these things are not required. You have to, if we really want to be happy, we have to express our innermost this samskar in a most beautiful way, so that it not only helps us, but it helps the world around us. So, hey Arjuna, you have the samskar of a Kshatriya. A Kshatriya is born with this nature of what you call bravery, fearlessness, a large-heartedness, wanting to serve everyone, wanting to protect everyone, wanting to set what you call the whole world in a particular order, a discipline, system. So all these things are there within you. And this is a wonderful opportunity for you. So just express it. You will feel happy expressing it. And even if you die in this battlefield, you will what you call attain Swarga only. You will attain Swarga. So there is nothing, no harm in this. And that is the main thing because of which Bhagavan also creates this world. So that all of us jivas, infinite jivas who are there in this world, they get an opportunity to express their samskar fruitfully. Because we have this innermost desire to gain different types of bhoga, and ultimately we have desire for moksha also. So bhukti and mukti. For the sake of bhukti and mukti, Bhagavan creates this world, sustains the world and dissolves the world. So if we get an opportunity to express our talents, to express our samskar, we should feel very happy about it. We should feel very blessed, we should feel very lucky. So, hey Arjuna, you are lucky to have this opportunity. Not that you should go and unnecessarily fight in this world, But the situation has come unasked, and for a Kshatriya, this is a wonderful opportunity to express their samskar. So, Sukhina Kshatriya Partha Labhante Yuddham Idrisham. So, such a Yuddha, isn't it so nice for a Kshatriya to have such Yuddha? It is, definitely. Therefore, Bhagavan says, if you miss this opportunity, if you don't fight, then what will happen? He says in the next verse, Atha chetvamimam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tatas swadharmam kirtincha hitva papam avapsyasi. Bhagavan says, कि अथ चेत त्वम इमम धर्म्यम संग्रामम न करिष्यसि. If you decide not to fight this war, if you say, I will not fight, if you decide not to fight, atha chet tvam imam sangramam, if you don't fight this war, and what type of war it is? Dharmyam. It is a righteous, dharmic war. It is your duty to set the whole world in a particular order. If you don't fulfill your duty, there will be imbalance in the world. And it is not for your own selfish interest you are fighting, it is for the larger good you are fighting this war. And if you decide not to fight, if you decide not to do your duty, then Bhagavan says that tatas swadharmam kirtincha hitva papam avapsyasi. That by not fighting, you will lose your swadharma, you will be abandoning your duty, your responsibility, which is a great sin. What you have to do, you have to do. There is no choice. So if you abandon this, if you don't fight, then you will be abandoning your swadharma. Tatas swadharmam hitva. Not only swadharma, but you will lose your kirti also, your fame. You are born in such a wonderful family and you have acquired so many glories in your life. You have even fought many wars and defeated great warriors. And you even have fought with Shiv Bhagavan and acquired divine weapons from Shivji also. Such a glorious person you are, such brave and very honored in this world, respected in this world, and having such great fame. So Bhagavan tells Arjuna, you will lose that all kirti also. You have to maintain your fame also. You have to maintain your state also. But if you don't fight, then all your glory will be lost. So you will lose your swadharma, you will lose your fame in this world, kirti. So tatas swadharmam kirtincha hitva, and papam avapsyasi, and positively you will gain papa. Not that not fighting you will become a great santa. Not fighting will not make you some sort of a saint or a mahatma, but not fighting you will incur sin. See, when we have to, if a kshatriya is there and he has to fight to protect someone, he has to fight. If he start talking in terms of like a what you call a renunciate, like a sannyasi, if he says, no, I don't want to fight, I don't want to do all this papa, I don't want all violence, then you will be incurring sin. Because for everyone there are these duties assigned to them. For a kshatriya to fight is not violence, and for a Brahmin to fight might be violence. But for a Kshatriya, to fight this war is not violence. So you will incur sin if you don't fight this war. That's again to give the example of the surgeon who has to operate on that patient, and he is the only surgeon available at that moment, and the patient is there, and the surgeon says that, oh, I will not operate, there will be lot of loss of blood and this and that. This is not proper, because if you don't operate, the patient will not survive. It is your duty to perform that operation. Similarly, hey Arjuna, it is your duty to fight this war. If you don't fight, you will lose your Swadharma, you will lose your Kirti, and you will incur sin. Papam avapsyasi. Not only you will lose your fame, but a lot of other things will happen. Bhagavan says further, akirtinchapi bhutani kathayishyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya cha kirtihi maranadatirichyate. Bhagavan says not only you will lose whatever fame you have earned in this world, but people will positively defame you, positively talk ill about you. You will not only lose the fame which you have earned in the past, but in the present and in future, people will talk ill about you. Akirtincha bhutani kathayishyanti te vyayam. They will talk all sorts of negative things about you. They will just talk about you as a coward, as all sorts of things they will talk about you. In the modern time also people, there are people who will keep on talking all ill things about others. So even in the past people were like that, in future also they will be like that. In the past, WhatsApp and Facebook and all were not there, but people used to talk among themselves. Similarly, so they will talk, and they will talk of Vyayam. They will not stop at one time for a short time. They will talk for a long time. They will spread ill fame about you everywhere. Akirtim cha pi bhutani katishyanti. Duryodhana and Karna and all these Kauravas, they will say this, oh, we thought Arjuna was such a great person, but he is a useless, he is a coward, he is a eunuch, he is good for nothing, and we thought he was a brave person, but he is not brave. So in this way, they will talk ill about you. And for a person who has gained fame, who has gained name in this world, to become to lose that fame or to get ill fame from the world will be worse than death. Sambhavitasya cha akirtihi maranad atirichyate. Bhagavan says, for a person who is famous, for a person who is well respected, for a person who is well revered and honored in this world, to lose that and to get all ill fame and to be criticized by the world, to be to be talked in a very negative way by the world is worse than death, Bhagavan says. So, sambhavitasya cha kirtihi maranadatirichyate. So here Bhagavan is giving worldly wisdom to Arjuna. This is not the highest truth which is indicated in Bhagavad Gita, but from a worldly standpoint, Bhagavan is speaking to Arjuna. Therefore, here in Gita, guidance is given to people from different background. So here Bhagavan says, just from the standpoint of duty, from the standpoint of acquiring what you call proper fame in this world, from the standpoint of not losing your name and fame in the world, you should perform this action of fighting this war. Further, Bhagavan says, what people will talk about you. He says, Bhayad ranadu paratam masyante tvam maharathaha ishancha tvam bahumatah bhutva yasyasi laghavam. Bhagavan says कि भयाद रणाद उपरतम मस्यन्ते त्वाम महारथाः. These great Maharathis, these great warriors like Duryodhana, like Karna, or even Bhishma Pitamaha or Dronacharya, all of them will talk totally ill about you then. They will say, Bhayad ranat uparatam. They will say that you have left this battlefield and has run away out of fear. They will not say that you have gone out of compassion. See, in the world, people understand the same action differently. Each one understands a situation according to their own standpoint. From where we are, we look at this world. A person with totally low values in life, a person what you call selfish, proud, ignorant, foolish, greedy, angry, violent, such a person will not understand compassion, will not understand forgiveness, will not understand the talk of goodness. There will not be any communication between the person who is totally adharmic and one who is dharmic. There will be communication gap. There will be understanding gap. So if you, out of compassion, if you say, oh, these people will die, we should not fight this war, I will leave this battlefield and go away, people will not say, oh, Arjuna is such a compassionate fellow. For the welfare of this world, for welfare of all people, he abandoned this battlefield. They will not say like that. They will say, Bhayad ranad uparatam. Out of fear, he left this battlefield and went away. Masyante tvam maharathaha. Because this is not proper. Compassion is good, but it should be expressed at the right time, in the right way, in the right situation. Nowadays also in the world, human rights and all sorts of things are there. It's good, but it has to be expressed in the right forum, at the right time, towards the right people. Otherwise it is sin, it is adharma. It is not proper. To express all your compassion and goodness towards adharma and adharmic people is not considered good. Similarly, to have this compassion for Duryodhana, for this Dushasana, for this Kauravas, at this time was not compassion at all. It is sin. It is not proper. And they will also not understand it as compassion, because they are adharmic. Their way of seeing the world is different. So Bhagavan says they will talk ill about you. Bhayad ranat uparatam masyante tvam maharathaha. All these Maharathis, they will say that you ran away from battlefield out of fear. Oh, such a coward this Arjuna is. And eshancha tvam bahumatah bhutva yasyasi lagavam. And for this Duryodhana and all, you are in their mind, you are a great person actually. You are a brave, you are a very strong person, and they have inside their heart, they are afraid of you. In fact, before this main battle, this Kurukshetra war, Arjuna had defeated all these great warriors in the Virat Yuddha. So they are afraid of you. They have a high opinion about you in their mind. But if you run away from this battlefield, their whole opinion will go down. They will consider you totally low and useless fellow. Huh? So, Eshanchatu Bahumataha Bhutva, for whom you had become great, in their eyes you will fall down. Yasyasi Laghavam, you will fall down in their eyes. So, it is a very, very tragic thing which will happen to you if you don't fight this war. So, here Bhagwan is talking from a worldly standpoint. He says that not only they will talk about you as coward, but they will say even worse thing than that. Bhagwan says in the next verse, Avachavadanshcha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantastava samarthyam tato dukkhatarannu kim. Bhagwan says, this tava ahitaha, those who don't think of your welfare, your enemies, all these Kauravas, those who don't think of your welfare, tava ahitaha, they will talk all negative thing about you, avachyavadans, they will talk horrible things about you which I don't want to utter also, avachyavad, which is shameful to be uttered also. Avachyavadanscha bahun, and not one or two, but lots and lots they will talk. People, once they open their mouth, they just will pour out all the garbage which is there in their heart, which is there in their head. They will just talk all nonsense. See, this is there, this was true in the past, this is true in the present also. People just talk what is there in their heart. All the garbage, if they have collected garbage, if they have collected all sorts of dirt, then whatever be the occasion, once they open their mouth, this dirt alone will come out. People now also, they don't stop doing ninda, gossiping about others, backbiting, talking nonsense, spreading ill fame, degrading. Why they are doing? Because that is what is there inside. That is what is there in their heart. That is what is there in their head. They just pour it out. One may feel that, oh, if I pour all the dirt, then I will become clean. No, the more you pour out dirt, the more dirty you become. The more nonsense you speak, the more nonsensical you become. So Bhagavan says, Avachyavadanscha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha. They will talk about you in very, very bad language. So nindantastava samarthyam. They will do ninda of your bravery also. All the past glories which you have, they will find some defect in that and they will talk all sorts of nonsense about that also. They will say you were never great, you were never brave. It was just by luck you won one or two battles, but otherwise you are such a useless nonsense person. So nindantastava samarthyam, they will criticize and censure your bravery also. They will say you are not brave. So hey Arjuna, looking from this standpoint also, what will be more sorrowful than this? Tato dukkhatarannu kim. What will be more sorrowful than being criticized and getting this ill fame from the world? See, Bhagavan told Arjuna from the standpoint of his dharma, from the standpoint of his kirti, also to protect his kirti, to protect Swadharma, to to avoid all ill fame, you have to fight this war. Nindantastav samarthyam tato dukkhataram nukim. Then Bhagavan says, if you really fight this, if you fight this war, it is a gain-gain situation only for you. There is no loss. You will not lose anything. It is beneficial for you. Whatever be the outcome of this war, it will be beneficial for you to fight this war. In the next very famous shloka, Bhagavan tells Arjuna, Hato va prapsyasi swargam jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischayah. Bhagavan says, Hato va prapsyasi swargam. When you fight this war, either you will win this war or you will lose this war. What will happen? We don't know. Bhagavan doesn't tell him what will be the outcome of this war. And that is what generally is. Whenever we perform an action, we don't know what is the outcome. Whether we follow the path of dharma or we follow the path of adharma, the outcome of our actions are unknown. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't teach us the secret of becoming successful in all our actions. No, sometimes we fail also. Bhagavad Gita teaches us the path of goodness, the path of righteousness, whatever be the outcome. Don't worry about the outcome. Bhagavan says that if you fight this war, two possibilities are there. Either you will kill them and win over this war, or you will get killed in this battlefield. Either way, Bhagavan says, it is beneficial for you. He says, Hatova prapsyasi swargam. Since this is a dharmic war, it is a punya karma. If you fight this war and if you die in the battlefield, you will go to Swarga only. You will attain Swarga, because this is a punya karma. This is a positive action. Positive action will take you to the higher world, and negative actions take us lower world. It is automatically, it is the law of nature. Just like if a heavy object is thrown in the water, it sinks. A lighter object, it floats. Depending on the density of the object, it will sink or float. Similarly, depending on the type of karma, you will rise to a higher world or you will fall down into a lower world. This is natural law of karma. Bhagavan says, to work in this world, to maintain the order of this world, that itself is dharma. If you follow the path of dharma, you will attain punya and you will go to higher world after your death. So Bhagavan says, Hatova prapsyasi swargam. If you are killed in this battlefield, you will gain swarga. Anyway, one day we have to die. So better die in such a way that you go to the higher world. Not that die in such miserable way that even after death we fall down into some terrible hell. Bhagavan says no. You live in such a way in this world, and if you have to die, you die also in a proper way so that you attain swarga. So hatova prapsyasi swargam. And if you win this battle, jitva va bhokshase mahim, then you can rule this earth and you can just enjoy your life here on earth. Jitva va bhokshase mahim. If you win this war, you will enjoy on this earth. You can gain different pleasures on this earth. And if you die, then you can attain Swarga. So either way, you will benefit. It's a win-win situation. See, if a adharmic person does some adharma, then you will go to Narak Lok only. But if a dharmic person does something, and even if he doesn't become successful in that action, but still he gains punya only and attains the higher world. The success and failure of dharma is counted in a different way altogether. See, when Ravan kidnapped Sita ji and was taking her away, Jatayu tried to stop Ravan. Jatayu fought with Ravan very bravely. But he was no match for Ravan. Ravan was very strong, very powerful, and Ravan, with his sword, he cut the wings of Jatayu and he just fell down, dying there on the ground. But he fought to protect Sita ji. He fought to protect goodness and righteousness. So though he was not successful in protecting Sita ji, but he attained great punya. Bhagwan himself blessed him and gave him the higher world. So when we follow the path of dharma, sometimes we are successful in the world outside, sometimes we are not, but we are always successful within. It is always beneficial for us within. If you follow the path of adharma, and even if we seem to be successful in the world, even if we feel that we have gained something in this world, it is a great loss only for us. See, there is nothing which comes free in this world. If we think we are through adharma, we will get something, we will lose something else from our system. So there is no free lunch available. So Bhagwan tells Arjuna कि हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम तस्माद् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय. हे कौन्तेय, हो son of Kunti, you have such a wonderful mother. She is so dedicated to dharma, and you are talking like a fool here. So you remember your mother and stand up. Uttishta, tasmad uttishta kaunteya. He was seated on the chariot, abandoning his bow and arrow, not willing to fight. So Bhagwan says, you just stand up. And yuddhaya krita nishchayaha, with a resolve to fight this war. With a resolve that either I will win and kill all these enemies and win, or I will die in this battlefield. Jeshyami shatrun marishyami va iti nishchayam kritva ityartaha. With this nishchay, you just stand up and fight this war. So Bhagwan gave this worldly wisdom to Arjuna, that you drop all your confusion, you drop all your sadness for the sake of dharma, for the sake of kirti, that is fame, for the sake of your own lineage and your own family name. You stand up and fight this war. And once you decide to fight this war, how to fight this war? What type of attitude you should keep in your heart, so that this fighting the war also becomes fully dharmic. See, very interesting. Sometimes people appear to be doing good action, but if their attitude is not proper, then that action also is considered negative and wrong only. So here, Bhagwan, in the next verse, very famous and important verse, Bhagwan tells Arjuna that if once you decide to fight, you bring this attitude to your mind and fight. Then only it will become fully dharmic war. Otherwise it will not be a dharmic war. See, even like our soldiers who fight on the borders, they do it for the sake of dharma, they do it for the sake of their country, their nation, as a duty, not having any personal grudges against the enemies, not to what you call score some personal thing, but as a duty they do it. Similarly here Bhagavan says, don't fight out of anger, don't fight out of jealousy, don't fight out of pride, don't fight with the idea of greed, but you just fight for the sake of dharma. This is the most difficult but very important for all of us, that how we should fulfill our duties in life. Bhagavan says in the next verse number 38, second chapter, Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. Bhagavan says, Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. Hey Arjun, that don't fight for the sake of sukha, for happiness and to avoid unhappiness. Don't try to fight for gain or to avoid loss. Don't fight for victory or defeat, but fight for the sake of dharma. In your mind, keep the outcome same, whatever be the outcome. Whether you become happy with this fight or you become unhappy. Whether you gain something or you lose something. Whether you win or you lose. See, in a fight, the whole situation is not all happy only. Lot of, like Arjuna's own son got killed and he became so miserable. Abhimanyu was killed by the enemies unfairly. All of them, they just attacked him from all sides and killed him. And Arjuna became so very dejected and depressed. So in a war, sometimes we become happy, sometimes things give us unhappiness. In a war, sometimes you might gain something or lose something. In a war, either you will win or you will get defeated. So Bhagavan says, keep all this outcome of the war same in your mind. Don't look at it from the standpoint of what I should gain and what I should lose and all, but focus your attention on fulfilling your duty, on performing your duty. Because later on also Bhagavan will tell Arjuna that your right is to perform your duty. And as you perform your duty, you will get the result. The result depends on so many different factors. The result doesn't depend only on your action. The result depends on the actions of so many other beings. The result depends on so many factors. So you can't keep all this in your head and fight. You just do what you have to do. And whatever outcome comes, you just accept it. So prepare your mind, keep your mind saman. Then you will be able to fulfill your duty to the best of your ability. You will be efficient in performing your action. So Bhagavan says, कि सुख दुख के समय कृत्वा लाभा लाभो जया जयो तथो युद्धाय युज्यस्व naivam papam avapsyasi. If you fight in this way, you will not incur any sin. So keep your balance of your mind. Whatever be the outcome, you just do your duty. Focus your attention on performing your action to the best of your ability. Do your best and leave the rest. So that attitude you bring in your mind. If with this attitude, if you fight this war, you will not incur any sin Otherwise, it's very sinful now. Just looking at it from a very gross standpoint, Arjuna will be fighting with people who are his own relatives. He will be fighting with Bhishma Pitamaha. He will be fighting with Dronacharya. And he is to revere them like anything. And he knew that they are also very brave and very powerful. They might even defeat Arjuna or kill him. So Bhagavan says that in your mind, you don't keep this outcome. Don't start worrying about loss or gain or victory or defeat or sukha and dukkha, because this outcome will come later on. But now, focus your attention on your work. Focus your attention on this war you have to fight. Use your maximum attention, your maximum skill, and just fight this war for the sake of dharma. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. In this way, if you fight, you will not incur any sin. So thus, Bhagavan talks about the highest nature of the Atma. He spoke about that nature of Atma right from verse number 11 all the way to verse number 30. In between, he talked about the other misunderstanding one may have about the Atma, that also he took into account, but the real nature of the Atma was revealed till verse number 25, and then again he mentions it, the nature of that Supreme Atma, in verse number 30. Then from verse number 31 onwards, Bhagavan gave worldly wisdom, worldly arguments of Swadharma, of Kirti, etc., to eliminate sorrow and confusion from Arjuna's mind. And then he told, you fight this war. So as I had mentioned in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, there are two main topics in Bhagavad Gita, which are the two main paths, the path of action and the path of meditation, or the path of action and the path of jnana nishtha, to gain abidance in the knowledge. So till here Bhagavan spoke about the path of meditation, wherein he revealed the nature of the Atma. The highest nature of the Atma is revealed. Now Bhagavan will talk elaborately on the path of action, though he gave some hint about it, but he will elaborately speak about it from the following verses. So in order to make us understand that there are these two paths, there are these twofold path, Bhagavan in the next verse, he shows us the division very clearly, so that our understanding of Bhagavad Gita becomes more clear. So the 39th verse, Bhagavan shows us the division. He says, Esha te bihita sankhe buddhir yoge tvimam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Hey Arjuna, till now I spoke to you about Sankhya. Sankhya means about knowledge. I spoke to you about the real nature of the self, which we have to know and which we have to be. It is the path of knowledge and the path of abidance in the knowledge. It's the nivritti marga, wherein we gain the highest wisdom and gain abidance in that wisdom. The path of knowledge or path of meditation, path of surrender, path of the highest bhakti, All these different names we can give to that path. So Bhagavan says, I spoke to you about that till now. And now Bhagavan says, I will talk to you about the path of action, what we call Karma Yoga, or here Bhagavan names it Buddhi Yoga. He says, Esha te bihita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shruno. Till now I gave you the knowledge of Sankhya, revealed the path of Sankhya, and now I will reveal to you the path of Yoga. So here Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji also writes in his commentary that Esha te tubhyam abhihita ukta sankhye paramartha vastu viveka vishaye. Sankhya means paramartha vastu viveka vishaye buddhihi. The wisdom of that paramartha vastu, that highest truth, the highest reality, the supreme self. The wisdom of that supreme self is what is called Sankhya here. So Paramartha Vastu Viveka Vishaye Buddhihi Jnanam Sakshat Shoka Mohadi Samsara Hetu Dosha Nivrutti Karanam. And this knowledge is the direct cause to eliminate the Shok and Moha Adi Samsara Hetu Dosha, the dosha of samsara. What gives rise to the calamity of this samsara is shok and moha. So this shok and moha can be eliminated only by recognizing the Supreme Self as it is. That is called Sankhya. That's called the Nivrutti Marga. That's the path of Jnana Nishtha. That Bhagavan says, I talk to you till now. And now, O Arjuna, you hear about yoga. And what is yoga? He says, Yoge tu tat prapti upaye nisangataya dvandva prahana purvakam ishvara आराधनार्थे कर्म योगे कर्मानुष्ठाने समाधि योगे च इमाम अनंतरम एव उच्यमानाम बुद्धिम शृणु. Bhagavan says, now you listen to this yoga, and yoga is tat prapti upaye. It is the upay, it is the method, it is the stepping stone to attain that Sankhya, to attain self-knowledge. It's a preparation. When you follow the path of karma, it prepares us for knowledge. When you nisangataya, dvandva prahana purvakam, without any attachment, without getting attached to the dvandva of this world, without getting attached to sukha, dukkha, labh, hani, jay, parajay, etc., when we perform our actions, when we fulfill our duties as an offering to Bhagavan, as a worship of Ishvara, Ishvara Aradhanarthe, and that itself is called Karma Yoga. Karma Yoge, Karmanusthane, Samadhi Yoge cha imam, it's also called Samadhi Yoga. Anantaram eva uchyamanam buddhim. That buddhi, that knowledge, Bhagavan says, I will tell you further from now onwards. See, this path of karma, when we perform our duties as a worship of Bhagavan, then by Bhagavan's grace, it gives us knowledge. Remember, the path of karma is fulfilled in gaining knowledge theoretically, buddhi. Later on also Bhagavan says, those who worship me, those who are dedicated to me, I give them this knowledge. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Bhagavan directly gives us knowledge by his grace, or he creates an opportunity by which we can go to a teacher and learn this. So karma yoga leads to ultimately to Shravan and Manan, and we acquire knowledge. We gain knowledge. And once we gain knowledge, then the path of knowledge begins, that is gaining jnana nishtha, abidance in the knowledge. That is the nivrutti marga. That we have to abandon all other work and just focus on meditation. But here Bhagavan now will start talking about this path of karma. It's very fascinating, very beautiful. And in this, we have to just fulfill our karma, whatever duties we have according to the station in our life, according to our gender, according to our age, according to our qualification, according to the samskar which we have in our sukshma sharir, according to the samskar we have in our gross body, whatever duties we have depending on the situation, surrounding. That those duties we have to perform in such a way that we should feel that I am just doing this duty as my offering to Ishvara. He has placed me in this place, so I will just do this as my puja of Supreme Ishvara. So tam buddhim stauti prarochanartham. Bhagavan then praises that karma yoga buddhi. Buddhyaya yoga vishayaya yukto he partha karma bandham karma eva dharma dharmakyo bandha karma bandha tam prahasyasi. When we follow this path of karma yoga, it will free us from the bondage of karma. See, karma itself is like a big bondage to us. It has tied us into this samsara. When we perform action, we perform action because of our samskar, and the more action we perform, the more samskar we generate. So we get caught up in this karma. But in order to become free, we have to perform karma in such a way that all our karma should become worship of Ishvara. So we will become free of karma bandham. So karma bandham prahasyasi Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana prapte iti abhiprayaha. How we will become free of this karma bandhan? When we perform action as a worship of Ishvara, by the grace of Ishvara, by the blessings of Ishvara, we will gain knowledge. He will see, Bhagwan will see that I gain knowledge. You don't have to worry. He will create opportunity for us so that we gain knowledge. He will lead us towards self-knowledge. That is the gift which we will get from Ishvara when we fulfill our duties as offering to Ishvara. He says, Bhagavan says, Ishvara prasada nimitta jnana prapte. By Ishvara's prasada, we will gain jnana prapti, and through this jnana prapti, all our karma bandhan will get eliminated. So, this path of karma yoga, Bhagavan will now talk about it in detail, or not in detail as such, but the main points he will reveal, and this will be elaborately again discussed in the 3rd chapter. But here Bhagavan reveals that path, very fascinating, and more about this we will see in our class tomorrow. See, all of you are attending this class directly online, listening to me, and there are people who listen to me later on also. All these videos are there online. You can listen to it again. But I would like all of you to share this video on your page, on your page of your friend and your other groups and all, so that more and more people hear about this. This itself will be your offering to Ishvara. See, all of us, we are doing this as an offering to Ishvara, and by his blessings we will gain this knowledge. So you share, and you also tell your friends and relatives about these classes, so that more and more people can join and benefit from these classes. Because we don't know how long this lockdown and all will continue. Whatever it is, we should continue with our satsang. Whatever be the situation in the world outside, as long as we have this opportunity, we should make full use of it. We should continue with our satsang. Okay? So we'll conclude now. So we will meet tomorrow. Till then, you stay safe, stay home, stay healthy, stay peaceful, stay happy, and contemplate on what you have heard, and practice it, put it into your life, follow it sincerely. It will be very beneficial. So we'll conclude with Bhagwan's name. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram, 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 Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम.